Sorry, there was a network problem. There was a network problem. Anybody there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there was a network problem.
Still some.
Very sorry.
Yes, sir, it's okay.
Okay. Okay. We were here. What was the very important thing is the basis function. Okay. Phi 1 of t is the basis function which is defined for this set of two signals, which is given by root of 2 by tb cos 2 pi fct. And my suggestion is, let us not concentrate on how this has arrived. You can easily remember this basis function. This is of no it offers no difficulty to you. So this could be obtained by Gram-Schmidt procedure, but instead of doing Gram-Schmidt, you can directly remember the basis function phi 1 of t. So all of you know any signal could be expressed in terms of basis functions, or it could be expressed in terms of linear combinations of basis functions. I repeat, any signal under set could be expressed as a linear combination of basis functions, which is written in this formula. Here we are having only one basis functions. Here we are having only one basis functions. So therefore, the summation, in the summation it will range from 1 to 1. Therefore you are having only one term. So S1 of t, it could be written like this: root EB into phi 1 of t. How this is written? Just observe what is phi 1 of t. Root of TB into cos 2 pi FCT is phi 1 of t. Root of 2 by TB into cos 2 pi FCT is phi 1 of t. So what is left out? Root EB. So you are having only one term because the number of basis functions is only one. So S2, how it could be written? Just observe, minus symbol is there, put the minus symbol. Root of 2 by TB cos 2 pi FCT is again phi 1 of t. What is left out? Root EB. So both signals S1 and S2 are expressed in terms of linear combination of basis functions. Here there is no meaning of linear because summation illa illi, because only you are having only one basis functions. So therefore root of EB into phi 1 of t minus root EB into phi 1 of t. Then as per this expression, what should be this term called as? So this is called as S11 and this should be called as S21. Remember one thing, whatever you are writing for the first signal, the coefficient of the basis function, it should start from S1 only. So this is the second signal. So this is the first coefficient. So therefore this minus root EB is supposed to be called as S21. Second signal first coefficient. That is why it is called as S21. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ S11 ಅಂದ್ರು? Because this is the first signal and the first coefficient. Okay, so we are able, let us not don't bother too much, because once you go through the derivations you will come to know. So my aim is that you should be able to understand the flow of the signal. Okay, the flow of the signal is very important. Okay, so now the next thing is S1 of t is given, and I have also named these equations 4 and 5 for future references. So now you are successful in expressing the signals in terms of basis functions. Why we are here? Because we need to plot the signal in the form of a point. How to obtain the point form of the signal? So the time is around 10 minutes. So let me try to complete as much as possible. So let me extend up to the 0th second of the time instant. Okay. So how could I express the signals in terms of points? It is as follows. The before observing it as a point, let us try to extract the vector form. So how to extract the vector form of S1 of t? I will repeat again, don't worry. S1 of t, the vector form representation is S1. So here there is a typographic mistake. This should be written as S2. Okay. Okay. So how to write the vector form of S1 of t? S1 equal to, take the coefficients of every basis functions. Here how many basis functions are there? Only one basis function. So therefore what we are supposed to extract from this? S11. So therefore in the vector I am having a only one element present. So what is the dimension of this vector? The dimension of this vector is 1, because you are having only one basis function. Similarly, if you if you write the vector representation for S2, so S2 is equal to, extract the coefficient of the basis function S21. So write this S21, and you know the values of S11 and S21. That has been written. S11 value, what is the value? It is a positive value. S21 is a negative value. How I have written? Just observe. S11 means root EB, S21 means minus root EB. This is how I have written the expressions for S1 and S2. Remember, this is S2. It is a typographic mistake. So now the S1 and S2 are plotted as shown in the figure. So this is the signal space. Here, now in any space, you should write the axis. So how many axes I have written? I have written only one axis, because number of axes should be equal to basis function. That is a rule. So what is the rule? Then total number of axes should be equal to total number of basis functions. So therefore I am showing one axis. First let me plot this S1. Plotting is very simple. Observe this vector as a point, root EB. So root EB is plotted over here. You assume that this is the 0 line. So minus root EB is plotted to the left of the 0. Correct. So now this is S1 and this is S2. Okay, S1 and S1 and S2. Okay, so what does S1 represents? Again, let me tell. S1 represents the point form of message point 1. Message point 1. So what is message point 1? It is symbol 1. So what is S2? It is nothing but message point 2, or it is also known as message point 2. Okay, so what is message point 2? It is symbol 0. So from now onwards, we will talk in terms of this symbol 1, symbol 0. So what is symbol 1? It is first message, or it corresponds to S1 of t, or it corresponds to S1. Then what is symbol 0? Message point 2. It corresponds to signal S2 of t, or point S2. So this it should get into your mind properly. So therefore what we had done, we had plotted the 2 points S1 and S2. So the point which corresponds to symbol 0, or S2 of t, is plotted to the left side of the axis, and to the right side of the axis you are plotting the point 1. Now a boundary has been written to distinguish, a boundary has been shown in the dotted line to distinguish the two regions. So what is this first region? The first region belongs to message point 1. What does message point 1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. It is nothing but symbol 1. Symbol 1 means S1 of t, or vector form S1. All the things should get into the mind. So therefore I am going little bit slow, so that you should not get confused. Symbol 1 antare, again they may write it as S1 of t. So be careful regarding that. Okay, so we had plotted the points, and also we had developed a boundary. So why we are using this? Because let me tell you the tomorrow's class agenda. Now only what we will do is, we are going to calculate the probability of the error. So whenever you get a signal at the receiver, you will convert that signal to a point and you are going to plot in the same graph. ಇದೇ graph ಅಲ್ಲಿ you are going to plot the received signal point in the same graph. Okay, if the received signal falls in the region Z1, then what does that receiver will do? The receiver will say, okay, message 1 might be transmitted. Now, if at all you will receive some signal and you convert that into a point, and if you say that the received signal falls in the region 2, if it falls in the region 2, then what the receiver would decide? The receiver will say that you have transmitted the second signal or symbol 0. That is why in order for to make that particular decision, we are dividing that into regions, and all of you know about the effect of the noise. So with this, I am going to stop today's session, and in the tomorrow's session, we will continue from where we have stopped, that is the probability of error. Okay, I am stopping the screen sharing and I am closing the meeting. Okay. I am stopping the meeting.